Hello, this is Carolyn from Carolyn's Paper Therapy, and I'm starting on a new project today that I am going to be using the Pick and Garden collection from Shabby Art Boutique. This is a kit that I purchased last year sometime. She produced it in 2021, but nothing is ever dated or old in these kits. You can go back and purchase the older ones or the newer ones. She's had so many new ones coming out that I didn't have a chance to do this yet, but I'm a gardener, and so I thought I would use a journal that I received as kind of a gift to set up Carolyn's Garden Journal. So I'm going to walk you through that in this video. This is the book that I'm going to be using. It's a beautiful book with some torn paper on the front. This is ribbon threaded through here that could be changed out. I may just leave it like it is. And so I'm going to show you in a minute what I'm going to do on the cover. And then there's all these pages inside that I will use some of the ephemera and background papers and all to decorate, and leave plenty of room for me to write and record things like when I planted seeds, when the flowers bloomed, what successes I had, tips for certain types of things, like I run across tips for when to trim hydrangeas, what to feed them to make them bloom certain colors. Anyway, that's what I plan to use it for. And so it's just a book, and I'm assuming I could probably add pages, but I'm not going to. What I did on the cover was, I haven't all put it all together yet, but I've got it ready. I wanted to let this kind of natural looking torn paper on the cover, but I want to cover this with some of the features from this kit. And so I took one of the larger pages and I cut off the bottom of it so that this will still show. This has the beautiful flowers and butterflies, and it had a section over here that looks like a frame. So I cut that open with my X-Acto knife and scissors and such. I don't do very well with that, but anyway, that's what I did, because I wanted to frame a picture of my little greenhouse. And there's a story behind this little greenhouse. You can see it in there, I hope. It's small, but my husband put this greenhouse in like in 2000, I don't know, 2010 or 12 or something, and it's gotten kind of ratty looking and all messy inside and everything when he got to where he couldn't garden anymore. So in 2020, I decided to revive the greenhouse, and I took pictures all along the way and of the different things I did. And this was when I had it all finished, and our beautiful crabapple tree bloomed. And so I took this picture that featured the blooms and then showed my little greenhouse in there, and even a shed out back, and the little table and chairs that I put out front. I have a little garden flag by the door. And so this is going to fit right in here, something like that. And then I'm going to put some lace to accentuate this. And then I have fussy cut out all the little elements with my Cricut, which is amazing. Like I say, it's not perfect. It doesn't do everything perfect, but it's so close, and it saves me a lot of time. So I've chosen the little garden fence with the birdhouse and flowers to kind of put in here. And then I have my little garden girl with the umbrella, and I want her to be standing there looking at my greenhouse. And up here at the top, I'm going to have the garden sign and a butterfly, kind of a 3D butterfly, and another little 3D butterfly over here. I don't think I'm going to put anything at all down here. So the cover will look something like this. I have to ink around the edges and get everything glued in place. And I may end up at the very end changing out this ribbon, but I kind of like it just like it is. So this will be basically what our cover looks like. And then inside, I will take these pages. I printed out everything so that I could just choose from the papers what I would want to put in my book, leaving plenty of room to write. I printed these on cardstock. I could have done it on paper, but I didn't. It'll make the pages thick, but that's okay. And then there's also just the plain background papers in the kit. There's a lot of those. So I'm going to use those in this book, and then when I get done, probably do something else with what I have left, because I have some little boxes and things in here that I want to decorate, and because I'm a garden person, this is just a beautiful kit for me to use. So I'm going to go off and put my cover together and start putting all my pages together, and I'll come back on this video as I make progress and share as I go along, and that way when you get to the end of the video, you will have seen the whole garden journal. So I'll be back soon. Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy, and I'm back to share with you my completed journal. It's Carolyn's Garden Journal, and it's made from the Pick and Garden collection, a Shabby Art Boutique. At the first part of this video, I showed you this journal before I did anything to it, and kind of how I planned out the cover. So I'm just going to go through it with you now. I have it completed, and it's a little different from what I've done before, and I hope you will enjoy. So this is my completed cover with the this had some handmade paper at the bottom here that I wanted to leave. I thought it looked neat, plus it looked kind of like grass. And so I have completed this cover as I described in the first part of the video, with this being my little greenhouse that I think I told you about in that video. I hope I did. I've attached a pear clip on the side here with some little wooden butterfly and some leaves and leaf charms and a key and my little heart that says "Made with Love." I did leave the same tie on here that came with the journal. I thought it was appropriate, so I just left it there. The one thing, a couple things I added here on the front was this lace with the double layered lace, and some stickles around the umbrella and the centers of the butterflies and on her flowers. And I also, all the way through here, I have made little dotted wiggly lines to just indicate the flight of the butterflies. Okay, let's see. On the inside front cover, I covered it with cardstock that I had printed from the kit, with the corners made with my decorative corner punch. And I used this pocket on the inside front cover. I wanted to leave everything flat inside, so there are no pockets on the pages inside the journal. So I have this pocket in the front, and this is for the seed packets that came with the kit. And they come just printed, and you just have to glue one side there and put it together. It needs to be scored when you do it so that everything folds neatly. So that when I have some seeds for my garden, I can actually put them in these little envelopes and mark them as to what they are, and have them in my journal. This journal is for me. I'm going to use it to help me with my gardening and to save some things and information that I come along with. I've added the word seed packets, which was just part of the title on the page. A bee and a butterfly with stickles. I did not do stickles on everything all the way through here because I have to allow time for it to dry, so I'll go back and do that on the centers of all the butterflies. Across the bottom here, I just put some lace and kind of a collage of some of the garden items from the kit. And as you know, I like my little birds to be singing, so I've put some notes up here. There's the flight of this butterfly. Again, I use my Cricut to cut out every single one of these elements in the journal, and it's amazing. It saves so much time and it does such a perfect job. Once I got over into the journal, the pages were kind of thick, like really heavy cardstock. So I printed out the background pages on regular paper so I could glue them on there and it wouldn't add to the thickness very much of the journal. So on each page you'll see some paper, background paper from the journal, and then all the decorations on the page are elements, fussy cut elements from the journal, from the kit. So I have some lace down the side, my little butterfly, and I had some sayings that I put in here. I didn't have too many, and I may add some things later as I run across them. This one says, flowers are those little colorful beacons of the sun from which we get sunshine when dark, somber skies blanket our thoughts. And again, I have the stickles on my little butterfly. And my plan is, in this journal, is on this first page for sure, is to write down the names of every flower that I grow, because I always have trouble remembering names, especially if I'm going around the garden with someone and I've got to tell them the name of the flowers and it just totally goes out of my mind. But I want to write them all down in here so that I have a list. That will be what's on this first page. And now this starts the format of the journal. I have on the left-hand side put a background paper that can be written on, and on the right-hand side I've put a collage of paper and ribbons and stuff and lines just on the white page. So over here I've chosen the barn wood, and my little girl is watering flowers and asking them to please grow. And after I got to going through this, I did decide to put trim on almost every page, something different on each page. It didn't really add to the bulk of the journal, and I thought it made it look really pretty. On this side I have this is some fabric ribbon that I bought a long time ago. It's the first time I've used it. I have a little collage down here, and then the saying says, flowers don't worry about how they're going to bloom. They just open up and turn toward the light, and that makes them beautiful. On this next page, I wanted to use that big, beautiful butterfly from the kit. So I used this background paper, and then I just glued on my butterfly. And then I thought the lace would be pretty over it. So I cut this piece of lace. It comes in a big roll. That is exactly this wide, so it works perfect for this. And I took some paper and glued it on the top so that it would be glued down, and then ribbon on top of that. So this is attached and it just flips up out of the way. I didn't use any ribbon in the journal because it adds bulk. You know how I usually use cheesecloth and ribbon and all these layers of things, and I didn't want to add the bulk because I want my pages to be flat so I can write in them. And so I did, at the end, I did go back and get some of the decorative papers from the kit and cut them out and make tags out of them, almost like bookmarks, and so these can stick up above and look pretty sticking out of the journal. And what I did for my lines, I bought this right here, and I thought I was getting a stencil. Well, it's not really, it's too thick. And so what I did, after I did that first page, I didn't like the way it looked. So what I did was decorate the page and then lay this down and take my pencil across these openings and make my lines, and that just worked perfectly. That way I can write in there and keep it straight. I used the same paper on this side that I did over here, and just put it down the side, leaving room to write right here. I trimmed it with some little fringe that I had. Again, I made a collage with our elements from the kit, and then the little butterfly flying up to the top. I thought this was sweet. This little girl is letting loose some butterflies, and the Cricut actually cut out these teensy little butterflies that I could glue on there and let her release them into nature. I put some flowers at her feet and lace across the top. Again, I used the green plaid over here, which makes it easy to write evenly, and then I used the green plaid down the side to decorate the side and then leave room here for writing. I did pull in some music notes, a little bit of music, and this saying says, "If we could see the miracle of a single flower clearly, our whole life would change." I go out in the garden and I look at my flowers and all the perfect little petals and little centers and the little stamen and all the perfect, and every flower is different and different colors, and they just grow overnight, and it's the most amazing miracle. Always stop and look at your flowers individually. Sometimes the gardens don't look so pretty close up, or they look better from a distance, really. But if you get really close and look at the individual flowers, it's very rewarding, and it's awesome. Again, I did a collage at the bottom. The birds are singing and the butterfly is fluttering. I used a different lace on every page. This is some new lace that I found at Hobby Lobby. Or no, I ordered this from Amazon. Okay, I used the yellow background here and another collage at the bottom with the bird singing on the birdhouse. Over here, I decided to put my paper across the bottom instead of up the side. I did another collage and the butterfly fluttering out of the garden. On this page, I used the pink background and I trimmed it with this delicate lace that I have. I used some music notes and a collage of sayings and flowers and leaves. This says, "The fragrance of flowers spreads only in the direction of the wind, but the goodness of a person spreads in all directions." On this side, I, for whatever reason, didn't use any color in the background. I just did a collage of these elements from the kit and the little bees buzzing. I trimmed this page with the green hand-dyed lace that my girlfriend did for me. I have the green background. butterflies fluttering in from the side with the word grow and a collage at the bottom. And I used my pink floral paper here down the side with a collage of garden tools and a blue jay and the little notes because he's singing. And here's a little ladybug crawling across the page and a butterfly fluttering. I used the happy yellow plaid on these two pages. I trimmed this page with my blue hand-dyed lace. I did a collage of the girls in the pink flowers growing behind her fence, a butterfly, pretty watering can. And over here I put the yellow across the bottom and a collage of the scarecrow and butterflies and flowers. I put this heart lace up the side. This was from Hobby Lobby, and I bought some more, so they have it white and off-white. And I trimmed it with some of my blue ribbon that I have. This is another one of the little journal cards that I made into a tag. Okay, this page I did with the blue polka dot and a collage of the fence and the little girl releasing a couple more little butterflies, a wren and some notes, and a butterfly fluttering onto the page. This one I just did a collage of tools and flowers and the birds with the notes, butterfly sitting on the sign, scarecrow in behind the fence, and then the blue that I used over here and the word welcome. On this page I used some wider of the hand-dyed lace down the side in blue. Used the pink background, the butterfly flying to the top, and a little collage of elements down here at the bottom. I had not printed out the pink things, and it ran out of items to put on here, so that's why all the pink is kind of at the end. Here's my pink flowers and my girl, and a collage of a sign, butterflies, and a tag. And this tag and the other large one were made by just cutting a piece of one of the decorative pages that were where there were two on a page to make a small journal, and I just cut that off and made a tag. This is the very back of the book, and this is where I wanted to use all of these journal cards, and so I just covered the pages, put lace up the side, made my pockets, and these are all just for information that I find on certain flowers, sayings that I might want to write. I just thought if they were all at the end, then they wouldn't bulk up the journal, and it worked perfectly because the pages are nice and flat for me to write on. And then on the back, I just took one of the, this is what the journal looked like. It was with green leaves, and so it worked perfectly for what I was doing. And then I just cut one of the decorative pages, full page, and glued it at the top here with the lace on the bottom that matches what's on the front. So this is my completed Carolyn's Garden Journal. I hope you've enjoyed it. It was a fun project, and I was so happy to get to use this kit because I've had it a long time, and we're just getting ready to come out with a new kit in the craft room, and so I wanted to sneak this in right quick and get it done before I get on to something else. But I think this turned out so nice with all the different laces on the side, and I will keep this handy and write the things in there to have a record of my gardens, and also information on the plants, such as if I have some lavender and I need to remember when to cut it back, how far to cut it back in order for it to blossom back out in the spring. I have mums out there that I know that you're not supposed to cut back after the 4th of July, and just things like that that I'm learning about new flowers that I have and the old flowers that I have, so that I can make the most of them. The perennials especially that come back year after year. I want to do it right so that they're there in the future, and I don't have to plant everything every single year. So I hope you will remember that every day's a gift. Our life is like a garden. All of us are different. We all bloom in different colors, and each person is unique in the talents and what they have to offer to life. So we always need to be kind to each other and accepting of each other, and thank God for each friend that comes along in our life. They all teach us something, and we should offer our best everywhere we go. So always look for the joy in each day and share it with everyone you meet. If you have extra flowers, at very least, take pictures of them and share them. People enjoy my flowers on Facebook, and what they, how they look when they're blooming. I try and take really neat pictures of them. And but if you have some you can pick and take to a friend, that would be awesome too. I have violets in my house, and they have grown and multiplied and all. So I took 12 of my violets and cut off the long stems that had grown over the edges and the extra plants that were in the pot, and repotted all those, and am in the process of giving those away to my friends this week. So always share what you have, and always share a smile. So I'm gonna get busy on something else. I'm not sure what, but I gotta clean up my mess from this, and I'll be back soon. I'll see you soon.